There's a right way and a wrong way to use copyrighted material, and it is crucial that you know the difference. Unless you want a hefty fine or even worse, a lawsuit showing up at your front door, you may want to stop copying and pasting those Google images into your projects. Hello world! Before you assume that image that you're borrowing from Google is free to use in your work, consider this. Infringing or stealing the rights of work registered with the U.S. Copyright Office is at minimum $750 and could be up to $150,000 per work. We're talking a copy and paste that took you 15 seconds to consider, costing you your paycheck, mortgage, business, or worse. Now, I don't want to scare you, but I can't stress the importance of understanding copyright infringement enough. And you've come to the right place to do so. Let's get into it. Copyright states that the creator of an image or other intellectual property can do as they please to distribute it. They can reproduce it, sell it, display it, or create derivative works from it. It's a simple principle. If you create something, then it is yours to share or not share. The choice is yours alone. Now, if you're not the original creator of an image and you decide to sell it, reproduce it, display it, or likewise without receiving permission from the creator, there's trouble, big trouble. We won't get into the penalties again, but permission is the key word here. It's not impossible to use work that is copyrighted, but you must go through the proper avenues to ensure it's free to use. So let's look at some of the most common ways to use copyrighted works. Paid licensing is when you pay a fee to use that image. It's when you're scouring the web and you see a watermark over the most perfect image and you can't get the original without the watermark unless you pay a price. A lot of photos have flat fees to cover use of that image. It's all contracted and details of reproduction should be covered in any agreement signed prior to purchase. When you see fair use mentioned, it's referring to an image only being used for educational, research, or personal purposes. Yes, don't worry, you can save that image and make it the background of your phone. The creator won't come after you in that case. Same if you're giving a presentation to a classroom of students or an office of colleagues. You can proceed and feel confident that the copyright police won't be knocking on your door anytime soon. Have you ever seen a small CC with a circle around it on an image? That means it has a Creative Commons license. You can think of this also as certain conditions. Under certain conditions, can you share that image? You may want to brush up on the rules of CC licensing before distributing. It may be as simple as giving credit to the owner, and then you're free to proceed. Images found in the public domain are free to use, but that doesn't mean a photo you saw on Instagram is free to take without consequence. Searching for free stock imagery is your best option to ensure you're not going to be hit hard with a penalty down the line. Now you're probably asking yourself, well, how the heck do I know if something is in the public domain? Is it clearly labeled? Well, no, not necessarily. The best things in life don't come easy after all. Some guidelines to consider are that copyright licenses do expire. If so, you're free to use, modify, and distribute as you please. Something to note is that all works published in the world prior to 1923 are free of copyright and free to use. Another thing to consider is any work published by a government agency is considered a part of the public domain, or any work that lacks any creativity. In other words, an image or work that is based entirely in fact. Now those facts and data might be copyrighted, but the image itself is not. Now that you have an understanding of licenses specifically, let's look at the ways you can use them. You have commercial use, non-commercial use, and fair use. Commercial use is as it sounds. You're using content for profit or marketing purposes. Be careful here because you can now monetize your social media. So while you think that's purely fun and non-commercial, think again. The same goes for blogs, company brochures, and even newsletters. Now, non-commercial use is most common in the classroom or learning settings. Nonprofit organizations are also considered non-commercial, so they can use images to request donations and promote events. And then there's fair use. This permits limited use of copyrighted material without permission from the creator. If you need some examples, stick with me here. News and research, parody, criticism, and scholarship are just a few. Just proceed with caution if you're leaning on fair use. It's still not 100% clear what is fair use and what isn't, and ultimately can only be decided in the courtroom. If you profit from the work and it leans in the direction of bad faith, chances are it's not fair use. When you find a post on social media, it's not a free pass to grab it and share it at your own will. There are rules for each platform that you'll want to consider. Yes, you may be able to retweet a tweet and share it on your feed for your own personal gain. That's fine. But embedding a tweet into a website or for advertising purposes can get you into some trouble. Again, err on the side of caution, even with social media. At the end of the day, reproducing copyrighted work without permission will put you in hot water. Copyright infringement shouldn't be shrugged off. Copyright images are hard to find, but it's worth it to keep your checkbook intact so you can move forward confidently. Perhaps the best advice I can give you in this video: create your own content. By doing so, you run zero risk of running into copyright issues. Well, unless you're on the other side and find others are stealing your work. Visme is a great place to start creating original content. Head to our website right now to start creating marketing content, infographics, digital ads, personal documents, and so much more. But before you go, please like our video. We appreciate your support and want to keep helping people just like you for years to come. Check out our channel to see what other questions that we can answer for you. Until then, I'm Mike Ploger with Visme, helping you make information beautiful.